You're staring at your bank statement again. The same numbers, the same disappointment, the same quiet panic that maybe this is just it. You work hard, you show up, you do everything you're supposed to do, but somehow you're still here, still waiting for next month to be different, still telling yourself that the promotion will change everything, that the raise will finally make it click. You watch your friends buy houses, take vacations without checking their account first, make decisions based on what they want, not what they can afford. And you wonder what they know that you don't. You've been taught that working harder is the answer, that saving more is the solution, that playing it safe is smart. But safe feels like a prison now. Safe feels like watching life happen to other people. The real enemy isn't your job. It's not your boss. It's not even the economy. The real enemy is the lie you've been living. The lie that trading time for money is wealth. The lie that security comes from a paycheck. But here's the truth. The wealthy don't work for money. Money works for them. While you're thinking about your next vacation, they're buying the hotel. While you're saving for a car payment, they're collecting rent from 10 families. While you're planning your retirement at 65, they're retired at 35. They learned what you were never taught, that assets put money in your pocket, that liabilities take money out, that your house isn't an asset if you're still paying for it. They understand the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Rich is a big paycheck. Wealthy is freedom. Rich is what you earn. Wealthy is what you keep, and what keeps earning for you when you sleep. The middle class buys liabilities and calls them assets. The wealthy buy assets that buy them more assets. Your financial education stopped in school. Theirs began when they realized school teaches you to be an employee, not an owner. They learn to make money work as hard as they do, to build systems instead of just showing up to them, to create value instead of just trading time. The gap isn't talent. It's not luck. It's not even opportunity. The gap is understanding. Understanding that broke people give advice about money, that the middle class thinks rich people are lucky, that the wealthy think differently about everything. They don't budget their way to wealth. They don't save their way to freedom. They invest their way to independence. And they started with the same 24 hours you have, the same fears you have, the same voice telling them to play it safe. But they chose differently. The question isn't whether you can afford to take risks. The question is whether you can afford not to. Because safe is the most dangerous thing you can be. Safe is slow death. Safe is watching your dreams get smaller every year. The wealthy learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable, to make decisions based on where they want to be, not where they are, to think like owners, not employees. Your paycheck is someone else's expense. Your security is someone else's control. Your comfort is someone else's profit. And every day you wait is another day they get further ahead. Not because they're smarter, because they think differently. The choice has always been yours. Stay comfortable and stay where you are, or get uncomfortable and go where you want to be. What are you going to choose? To understand this choice, we have to look at the story of two men. Robert Kiyosaki had two fathers. One was highly educated, holding a PhD. He was intelligent, respected, and worked hard for the government. We'll call him the poor dad. The other father never finished the 8th grade, but he became one of the richest men in Hawaii. He is the rich dad. Both men were successful in their careers. Both earned substantial incomes. But one struggled financially all his life. The other would leave tens of millions of dollars to his family and charities. Why? Because one dad said, "I can't afford it." The other asked, "How can I afford it?" One taught his son how to write an impressive resume so he could find a good job. The other taught his son how to write strong business and financial plans so he could create jobs. The poor dad believed the house was his greatest asset. The rich dad knew the house was a liability. This isn't just about two men, it's about two mindsets. Ideally, we want to listen to the rich dad, but most of us were raised by the system designed by the poor dad. It sounds insultingly simple, right? You might be thinking, I'm an adult, I know what an asset is. But you probably don't, because the definition you learned in accounting class is wrong. Here is the rich dad's definition. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. If you stop working today, your assets encourage you to stay home. Your liabilities demand you go back to work. Let's look at your house. You pay a mortgage. You pay taxes. You pay insurance. You pay for repairs. Does it put money in your pocket every month? No, it takes money out. Therefore, in the language of wealth, your house is a liability. But a rental property? A stock that pays dividends? A business that runs without you? These put money in. These are assets. The diagram of a poor person is simple. Income comes in and expenses go out. The middle class is slightly different. Income comes in, they buy liabilities like big houses and cars thinking they are assets, and the money goes out. But the wealthy, they use their income to build a column of assets. And eventually, the assets generate enough income to cover all expenses. That is the moment you become free. So, if the math is simple, why doesn't everyone do it? Because of two powerful emotions: fear and greed. Fear keeps you in the trap. The fear of not paying bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of starting over. This fear forces you to get up, go to work, and trade your time for money. Then, when the paycheck arrives, greed takes over. You see all the wonderful things money can buy: a new phone, a better car, so you spend it. And then the fear returns, so you go back to work. This cycle, wake up, go to work, pay bills, wake up, go to work, pay bills, is what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. Most people spend their entire lives running on this wheel, thinking that more money will solve the problem. But more money just makes the wheel spin faster. If you don't master your emotions, high income will just lead to higher spending. You need to step off the wheel entirely. So where do you start? Rich Dad's advice is mind your own business. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job today. Keep your day job, be a great employee, but start building your asset column now. Stop buying liabilities. Stop trying to impress people who don't care about you. Every dollar that enters your hand is a seed. You can eat the seed, spend it, and it's gone forever. Or you can plant it. If you plant it in your asset column, it grows into a tree, and that tree drops more seeds. Eventually, you will have an orchard. The path to wealth isn't a secret, it's a choice between security and freedom, between the poor dad's logic and the rich dad's logic. You've read the first page, you understand the basics, but the journey is long and there is so much more to learn. If you are ready to turn the next page on your financial education, make sure to subscribe to One More Page. We'll see you in the next chapter.